In an incident that crossed every line, even by CBC standards, Radio Canada, the French-language arm of our taxpayer-funded broadcaster, aired a segment on September the 15th in which reporter Elisa Serret delivered an unchecked anti-Semitic tirade disguised as analysis. Her remarks on Sur le Terrain were not only blatantly false, but bigoted and deeply harmful. In Canada, a nation that prides itself on inclusivity, tolerance, and respect for diversity, such hateful rhetoric is unacceptable and downright dangerous. Here's what happened. In a segment, host Christian Latrielle asked why Americans struggled to distance themselves from Israel. Serret alleged that Jewish individuals through super PACs finance much of U.S. politics. She went further, claiming that Hollywood and major U.S. cities are run by Jews. These comments invoke classic conspiracy theories that have long been weaponized against Jewish communities, most notably used by the Nazis in World War II to help stir up hatred of Jewish communities across Europe. The response to Serret's comments was swift. Jewish organizations, influencers, and Canadian leaders immediately condemned the remarks. Canada's Heritage Minister, Stephen Guilbeault, made it clear that anti-Semitic tropes have no place on our national airwaves. And when journalists use anti-Semitic language, it risks normalizing hatred in a deeply dangerous way. Deputy Opposition Leader MP Melissa Landsman said that apologies and excuses were not enough and that anti-Semitism on TV is part of the deep systemic rot corroding our society, and it flourishes when tax-funded institutions provide it with a platform. Liberal Mount Royal MP Anthony Housefather said on social media that the suspension and apology were positive developments, but called for Radio Canada to explain how it would prevent such an occurrence from happening again. The facts speak for themselves. Canadian Jews continue to be the #1 target of religiously motivated hate crimes in Canada. Year after year, police-reported hate crime data shows that anti-Semitic incidents outpace those against all other religious groups combined. Anti-Semitism is not fading into history. It is rising, becoming more brazen, and increasingly normalized. Against that backdrop, Serret's remarks are not just offensive, they add fuel to a fire that is already burning dangerously close to home. Radio Canada itself apologized and acknowledged that Serret's comments were stereotypical, anti-Semitic, erroneous, and damaging. Importantly, the broadcaster announced that Serret had been relieved of her duties until further notice. Radio Canada should be acknowledged for responding quickly in this case, recognizing the seriousness of the problem and taking immediate action. However, as outrageous as this incident was, it's not an isolated episode at our public broadcaster. Canadians deserve a public broadcaster that truly upholds our national values: fairness, inclusivity, tolerance, respect for diversity, and a commitment to truth, and not a CBC that casually gives a platform to anti-Jewish racism. This moment must serve as a turning point for the CBC, as it has exposed a deeper issue within the broadcaster that can no longer be ignored. Only through serious internal reform, with stronger oversight, educational training, and a genuine commitment to combating anti-Israel bias, can CBC begin to restore trust and demonstrate true accountability to the Canadian people.
D'Israël, hein. C'est vraiment l'argent ici aux États-Unis. Les grandes villes sont dirigées par des Juifs. Hollywood est dirigé par des Juifs. Il y a vraiment, donc, vous savez, hier, moi, j'ai remarqué, j'ai